Next, page number 35. So when Albert graduated from college, so Albert has completed. আচ্ছা এখান থেকে মেক সেন্টেন্স keeps the moon from floating away আমি কিন্তু মেক সেন্টেন্সটা বললাম না যেমন লাইট অ্যান্ড সাউন্ড দিয়ে আসলে গ্র্যাভিটেশনাল ফোর্স তোমরা সায়েন্সে পড়েছো লিখতে পারবে ইনভিজিবল ফোর্স গ্র্যাভিটেশনাল ফোর্স ইজ অ্যান ইনভিজিবল ফোর্স which pulls everything on earth and Albert Isaac Newton invented gravitational force লিখে দিও তাহলে আউট অফ দ্য স্টোরি হবে ঠিক আছে floating I saw the plastic mug floating on the water and suddenly a bird screwed it down গেল outer space I want to know about the outer space but um, uh, I'm very curious to know the outer space of the world, but I have not such a brain to have the space science to be a space scientist. So I always search Google to have the answers. When Albert graduated from college, what did Albert do after graduation? After Albert graduated from college, he wanted to teach all the things he had read about. So, when did Albert want to teach all the things he had read about after completion of his graduation? After Albert graduated from college, he wanted to teach all the things he had read. The graduated, when my elder brother graduated from college, he started practicing of his own. হয়ে গেল teach things read এগুলো দিয়ে make sentence পারবে but Albert could not find a job as a teacher আচ্ছা what did Albert want Albert wanted to teach all the things he had read about was he able to get the job of a teacher no Albert was failure to find a job as a teacher so what did he do so he got a simple quiet job in the government office where did Albert get a job Albert got a job in a simple quiet in a government office as a simple quiet job why um, why because Albert wanted to teach all the things he had read about but Albert himself could not find a job as a teacher so he was bound to join a simple quiet job in a government office what did he do in a government office in the government office where Albert got a simple quiet job he did his work quickly so that he had lots of extra time to read think and wonder so how did he execute his duty in the government office when Albert graduated from college he wanted to teach all the things he had read about but he was unable to find a job of a teacher he got a simple quiet job in a government office and he did it and he did his work quickly in such a way that he could get lots of extra time to read think and wonder okay এবার পরপর প্রশ্ন গ্র্যাজুয়েটেড হয়ে গেল এখানে জব মাই ব্রাদার গট আ জব অ্যাজ আ doctor in the North Bengal Medical College. He got a simple the question. I saw a simple man running across the road. Quiet, all the atmosphere, all the ambience was so quiet that I started meditation government office I my father had to visit government office to have all the government documents he did his work quickly দিয়ে বলতে পারবে I think it will not need it you are not needed to know this quickly বলতে পারবে quickly the pet dog ran quickly but part quickly PURRED lots of extra time in the extra time the Mohan Bagan scored 3 goals to read, think, and wonder. Wonder the I wonder at the I wonder at the performance of the singer in the কি বলবো in the Indian Idol. Next, uh, what did Albert begin after doing all the job in the government office? After completing his government job quickly, Albert got extra time to read and think and wonder, and he began to send his new ideas to science magazines and science magazines. What did the science magazines do? The science magazines printed everything, whatever Albert Einstein wrote. And why did Albert begin to send his new ideas to the science magazine? Albert began to send his new ideas to the science magazines because he hoped that scientists and professors would be interested, and um, he would be given an opportunity to work in science. সায়েন্স যাতে কাজ করতে পারে, ভালো করে মাথায় ঢুকিয়ে নিও কথাটা, হ্যাঁ? So why did he begin to send his new ideas to the science magazines? Albert began to send his new ideas to science magazines because he hoped that scientists and professors would be interested, and he would be given an opportunity to to work under science. ঠিক আছে? So was his hope fulfilled? Yes, his hope was fulfilled. All the scientists and professors became so much interested, and they asked him to work and teach with them. Not only he was given the opportunity to do something for science, but also he was given the opportunity to work and teach with them. ওকে পড়াতে বললো, টিচার হতে বললো. In this way, Einstein was a teacher, তাই না? So make scientists ideas, new ideas, science magazines, printed, সব বলতে হবে. কীভাবে বলবে? The Thomas Alva Edison's new ideas were printed by Gravity Science magazine, Nandi the capital Gravity Science magazine, and everybody was found very excited. Next line is দেখো এমন কিছু scientists, professors. So most of the scientists and professors were attracted when the Jagadish Chandra Bose Institute started declaring a research paper. Sir started um, publishing a research paper on plants. ঠিক আছে? Interested, interested actually all the scientists and professors became very much interested to know the details published by the Jagadish Chandra Bose Institute, and teach them. Next, for the first time in his life, people started to say Albert is a genius. So when was Albert called genius? একদম পুরোটা বলবে. After graduation, Albert was interested to have the profession of a teacher, but he was unsuccessful. He got a job in the government office, simple quiet job. He got a simple quiet job in the government office, and he did it very quickly so that he can read, think, and wonder. And in his deep thought, he began to send his new ideas to the science magazine, who printed everything he wrote, because he had the hope that scientists and professors would be interested, and he would be given the opportunity to work under science. And really it did. He was asked by the professors and scientists to work and teach with them. And for the first time, people started saying that Albert was not ordinary one. He was a genius. And now Albert could spend all his days doing what he loved. Till then, he had to do the government job. Did he like his job? No. So, when the professors and teachers gave him the opportunity to work and teach with them, and people started calling him genius, Albert Einstein. আমি দিব পড়াচ্ছি Albert Einstein started all his day doing what he loved, imagining, wondering, thinking. Clear? So, এই জায়গাটা থেকে মেক সেন্টেন্স কি হতে পারে? ফার্স্ট টাইম স্টার্টেড জিনিয়াস। জিনিয়াস তুমি যে কোনো নাম দাও। আর.এন. টেগর ওয়াজ এ জিনিয়াস from his very childhood. Spend all his day what he loved, imagining. So I started imagining that I was running across the sky like the birds, and I was wondering at my own imagination, and I started thinking that in my next life I must be a bird. Albert thought about the size and shape of enter. What did Albert think? Number one, Albert thought about the size and shape of the entire universe. What did he discover? He discovered new ways to understand how all these things work. তাহলে এটা একটা স্ট্যান্ডাতে আছে। Albert thought, কি চিন্তা করলো? Size and shape of the entire universe, and he discovered new ways to understand how all these things work. Number two, even sometimes when Albert was faced with a tricky problem. So how did Albert behave when he faced with tricky problems? Whenever Albert faced tricky problem, he would put it aside, ওটাকে পাশে রেখে দিত, and he would start playing violin. কেন? Because music always made Albert happy, and according to Albert Einstein, music helped him think better. So এখানে মিউজিক সম্পর্কে বলা এবং ট্রিকি কোয়েশ্চেন, একদম পরিষ্কার ট্রিকি। তো তুমি এই কথাটাই বলবে, whenever I find tricky problem in my study, I start drawing because it gives me mental pleasure, and after completion of my drawing I can solve the problem. Tricky problem, put is aside, par ও না, এটা পুট, হি উড পুট, আমি পার পড়েছি। পার মানে হচ্ছে যেভাবে অ্যানিম্যালরা যায়, তাই আমি ভাবছিলাম বোধহয় আস্তে করে তা হবে না। হি উড পুট ইট অ্যাসাইড, পুট অ্যাসাইড করা মানে সরিয়ে রাখা। মাই টিচার পুট অ্যাসাইড মাই প্রেয়ার হোয়েন শি ওয়াজ টিচিং আস ইংলিশ। প্লে ভায়োলিন দিয়ে লিখতে পারবে। অ্যালবার্ট হ্যাপি হেল্পড হিম টু থিঙ্ক বেটার দিয়ে লিখবা। I can think better after completion of my drawing. Albert thought about ideas and figured out various theories until the very last minute of the last day of his life. So what did Albert think? Albert thought about ideas, and what did he figure out? He figured out various theories. কতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত? Until the very last minute of the very last day of his life. একদম একটা ঝরঝরা করবা। And what did he ask? He asked questions. And did he find answers? Yes, he found answers. How were his answers? So what did he find? He found answers. How were his answers? His answers were such that no one had ever found before. যেটা আগে কখনো মিস্ট্রি ছিল। সো এখান থেকে যদি তোমাকে বলে যে ফিগার দিয়ে কোনো ফিগার আউট করা দিয়ে মেক সেন্টেন্স দেয়, ইন দ্য ডার্কনেস অফ দ্য নাইট আই কুড নট ফিগার আউট হু দ্য ম্যান ওয়াজ পাসিং মাই হাউস, আওয়ার এরিয়া বলতে পারো, ইন রেড কোট বা ইন ব্ল্যাক কোট, যাই হোক বলতে পারো। থিওরি, দ্য থিওরিজ অফ Newton really are amazing. Very last day asked questions, found answers. How were his answers? His answers were such that no one had ever found before. What did he dream? He dreamed of ideas which had never been dreamed before. So আনসারগুলো কেমন, যে আগে কেউ আনসার পায়নি। ড্রিম কীরকম, যে আগে কোনোদিন ড্রিমই করেনি। ভীষণভাবে অ্যান্সার কোশ্চেন আসতে পারে। Albert's ideas helped How were Albert's ideas helpful? Albert's ideas helped build spaceships, satellites. স্যাটেলাইট স্পেসশিপ আবিষ্কারই হয়েছিল অ্যালবার্ট আইনস্টাইন, দ্যাট ট্রাভেল টু দ্য মুন অ্যান্ড বিয়ন্ড। মুন আর বিয়ন্ডে যেটা যায়, তার মানে এই যে আমাদের যে এখন চন্দ্রযান গেল সেটারও কিন্তু মূলে আইনস্টাইন আছে। His thinkings, how was how was his thinking helpful? His thinking helped humans understand our universe as no one ever had before. Huh? Could he complete his task? No. He left people many big questions, questions on which scientists are still working today, mane till today, till the present, working at present. So many mysteries mysteries are there which are left unsolved by Einstein. Questions that someday you may be able to know. So any scientist of modern period will try to answer the question and answer. So this extract is about the childhood of the great scientist. Albert Einstein worked so many important theories of science. When was he awarded the Nobel Prize? And what happened to Einstein in 1921? And why was he awarded the Nobel Prize? His works in physics. So was he able to complete all the mysteries, to solve all the mysteries? No. Something he could not complete his task. He left many unsolved mysteries to the modern scientists, and on which the modern scientists are dealing in till now. Clear?